What's up, guys? How are we doing today, man? We had an interesting session today. So, firstly, the theme of the session was soreness, and not necessarily soreness in the typical gym sense, like struggling to move, but my lower back was feeling weak, and that's because of last session's deadlift where I only got the 3 reps. I was feeling it, especially during this warm up on my squat. I could tell my lower back was weak, and it made me a bit nervous for my squat. We were still going to go up 5 kg today, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. There are a few things that we could do to address this. Again, like I said in the last video, adjusting the deadlift, so that it's only 2.5 kg jumps or not doing it every single session. And secondly is food. I haven't been showing you guys the food side, which I will be doing in future videos, but the minimum calories I've been on is 3,000, which I don't think is enough, and I think it's affecting my recovery. So 110 kg here, and I thought I was doing all right. The soreness was making me want to rest more than 5 minutes in between between sets, it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it happens when I'm feeling a bit weak, a bit sore, a bit tired, but I remember resting a good 8 minutes in between sets here and just feeling it and feeling a bit worried. But I was inspired from the last session. The last session, I kind of proved to myself that I was able to grind through stuff that I didn't think I could do. So I kind of knew if I got myself under the bar, I'd perform to some extent. And you can see these are slow reps, but we're still getting it done. And the form wasn't looking horrendous. Man, finishing squats and starting strength is such a relief because it really feels like you're more than halfway through, because the press and the bench there's nothing scary about them. I'm not saying that they're more fun than squats. I do love squats, but there is a fear element that just isn't there for bench or the press. So this almost feels like rest, if that. Even though you're trying really hard, it does feel like a little break. And then obviously deadlift, you have to try really hard again. So we were pressing 50 kg today, and we were having a bit of issues. Because I think you'll see in some of my sets I don't quite hit 5. And I don't know how I feel about this. On the one hand, 50 kg, 2.5 kg jumps is expected for this to come so early. But on the other hand, it's like some of the reps are going up with ease and some of them aren't. And I think this is just simply due to incorrect form. So if the bar doesn't really travel in the correct bar path, again, we want the nice, clean, vertical bar path, it's going to make the movement a lot harder. And this is especially true in the press. From my understanding, a couple degrees off can be the difference between hitting and missing a rep. Going forward, what I'm going to be doing is testing out the 2.5 kg jumps. If it's not working, going a bit lower again, being a bit more mindful and conscious with my form, reviewing my form in between reps, which is actually something I wasn't doing. So I'm going to start analyzing that a bit more, making sure that my head's going straight forward under the bar as it should be doing, and doing it. I'm doing it okay here, but really analyzing the missed reps and wondering why it happened. Like you can see there, the bar's not straight, it went behind me, and that would have made it harder. This next set here is when I'm going to miss my numbers. So I got 4 reps in, and the last rep you're going to see was just a grindy rep. One of the tips I have for press is to grip the bar really hard. You'll find as you progress in weight, there's going to be a sort of mental block where you kind of tell yourself, there's no way I can get this over my head, especially after like the 3rd rep. And one way to get over this is just gripping the bar and squeezing the bar really tight, kind of telling your mind that you're strong and that you're able to dominate the bar. It's something that has really helped me get through these big weight increases so frequently. So I was happy with this. It's a big weight increase. 50 kg is a big milestone for me. And considering how sore my lower back was and how I was feeling before, I took it, right? Moving on with deadlift. I didn't deadlift. I chose to do Nordic curls. It's a different hinge exercise. It's body weight. It focuses more on hamstrings, more than a normal deadlift, with the benefit, or at least in this case, the benefit of not really using my lower back. You can see I completely messed up the setup. I thought I had enough weight on the bar to keep my body up, but it kind of crushed my calf and rolled over. I'll be explaining Nordics a bit more, but this is what we're going to be doing with deadlift in the future. I'm going to be replacing it with exercises like the Nordic curl and the weighted pull-up. I might start learning to clean and do all of those sort of, let's call them Olympic movements. But for now, I'm going to stick to what I know, and the Nordic is one of my most preferred exercises. So I was a bit annoyed with what happened with the weights because it did hurt and I had to rest a bit to kind of get back in it. But what you want to do is you want to use your hamstrings to slow down on the descent. And then when you build up enough strength, you can start coming back up. You're looking at about 15 months of Nordic curl progression right here. So these are a lot harder than they look, or maybe they look really hard to you, I'm not sure. But they're still a hinge exercise. They utilize a lot of the muscle group that the deadlift was going to use, and it was going to give my lower back a chance to recover so that I could deadlift next session. In terms of programming the Nordic, because the eccentric phase is so heavy, it's very intense. I don't want to be super sore by doing 3 sets, 4 sets. I only did 1 set today, and that was plenty. I still felt it the next day. My hamstrings were fired up. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you've got any suggestions for the series on what you want to see, if you want to see more diet stuff, comment below, let me know, give me some ideas. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow.